up, y'all? It's CustomizedKi, and I really want to talk to y'all about things that y'all need to know about traveling and about like just little things that I feel that y'all should know that would make your life a lot easier when you're traveling. For those of y'all who don't know, I do work for an airline, and there are just certain tips and tricks and things of the trade that I really just want to share with y'all because I feel like they would make a difference in your life. They would make a difference in your traveling experience. And overall, these things are going to make you a better traveler. So let's just get right into it. First thing we're going to talk about is bags. Anything that you can pack in order to take with you on your trip. I'm just gonna give y'all the straight up truth. I'm gonna keep it funky with y'all because some of y'all have really unrealistic expectations, and I'm gonna tell you what's really up, okay? First of all, your bag is gonna get thrown around, period, poo. That's the first part. Like, it's not intentional, but that's really just the harsh reality of it. If your bag gotta go to the bag room, it's getting tossed around. If your bag is heavy, it's getting tossed even more. It's gonna be dropped. It's gonna be placed in places that are dirty, that are unsanitary, and that's really just the truth of it, okay? If you have valuables, those things should be put in your carry-on bag.
If you have valuables, those things should be put in your carry-on bag.
And when I say carry-on, I don't mean that big-ass roller bag that you're going to have that's going to be like, oh, it's going to go in an overhead compartment. Not all planes have overhead compartments that can hold your bag. So your personal bag, like your purse, your book bag, something that really is a personal item that is a carry-on, that is what you should put your valuables in. Now, me personally, I'm just gonna say this. When it comes to like valet bags, some airlines who use smaller aircrafts, they have what is called a valet tag, right? Now, my airline does have it, but it's just, let me just tell y'all the truth about valet bags. Valet bags are gonna go in the back with the regular checked luggage, and you get them back after your flight has landed, but you get them plane side, okay? So that's cool, right? Now, if you come up to me with a valet bag, first of all, let your handle down, because if your bag broke, I don't want to deal with that shit. And that's another thing. Stop traveling with beat up luggage. Like, it's missing a wheel, and this don't work, and the handle is broken. You gotta kind of jimmy it and shake it. I'm not trying to deal with all that. First of all, follow the procedures as they are given to you. If you have a valet bag, the gate agent will say to you, "Thank you for choosing our airline today. If you have any keys, valuables, travel documents, medications, or anything that is important to you, please remove those items from your valet bag, as it will need to be checked at the end of the jet bridge." Follow directions, please, because I don't want you, I get so tired of people handing bags off and be like, "My bag's very fragile. Can you just be careful with it?" I could be careful with your bag all day long, but guess what? The person who in the cargo bin could toss your bag down and sit on top of it while they wait for their other bags to come up. And then once your bag gets to where it's going, the receiving station could could toss your bag. Your bag could literally fall off of the side of the belt loader. And depending on how high the belt loader is lifted, whatever you got in there is gonna be broken. It's gonna be damaged, and it's not gonna be on us, because you know what they're gonna say? "We told you to take your valuable and fragile items out of your bag prior to. we cannot help you. I'm sorry for your inconvenience. Maybe next time you'll listen and follow directions, because we know what we're talking about. Follow directions. Take your valuables out. Take your personals out if they're important to you. I don't see why people pack heavy luggage. Whatever you take with you, you should be able to carry it, lift it, drag it, push it, pull it for 6 blocks. If you cannot do that, you need to pack lighter. The next thing is curbside check-in. So they tell you should check your bag in 45 minutes prior to your flight if you want to do curbside check-in, right? And this is why. So they check your bags, they give you a tag, right? Put the tag on the side of your bag, and sometimes they give you the receipt. That bag then goes on a belt. That belt goes down to the bag room where all of the bags are being collected for that flight. Now, this belt is very intelligent. It has sorting, what I like to call sorting intelligence, right? So these bags go through, they get scanned, you know, and on the machine there's probably like these little scanners or whatever, and they scan it, and then that's how they know what other belts that are connected to that go on. So like, let's say the first part of the belt go like this, right? You at curbside check-in, you here. It's gonna scan your bag once it gets on there, and then it's gonna go down. Now let's say your bag needs to go to Pier 36 because 36 is going to Atlanta, and that's where your bag is going. So it's gonna go on this first belt, and it's gonna come down here, and let's say Pier 36 is this way. Then it's gonna be like a little, you know, something in there that's gonna push your bag down that belt. Okay, cool. So then now it's gonna go down into the pier. So then in the piers, it's people in the piers. When your bag come down on that pier, then they gonna grab the bag off of the belt, and they gonna put it into this cart. All the bags that's going to Atlanta, because that's where you going, they're gonna be in this cart. So let's say somebody checked in curbside 2 hours ago. Somebody checked in, it's all at least 45 minutes prior. They're all gonna come down the belt, they're all gonna go into this cart, and then when they take the cart upstairs, that's what y'all see outside the window when y'all are boarding y'all flight. So all those bags, they go into the bag room, and then they come upstairs. Most bags for most flights come upstairs between 30 and 40 minutes prior to departure, right? So if your flight leaves at 12 o'clock, at 11:30 or at 11:20, they should be loading y'all bags, right? Okay, cool. When you are traveling, if you have a checked bag, you should have a picture of what your bag looks like. You should also have a picture of your bag tag so that you can see the scan number. There is a number on the bottom. It's like really, really small, but that is how they keep track of your bag. So let's say you get to somewhere and you can't find your bag, and they're like, well, what does it look like? Oh, it's a black bag. Yeah, because that's real specific. That has got to be like the worst part of traveling. When people be like, oh, I need to get my bag, I need something, or a passenger gets taken off of the flight, they don't make it, whatever the case may be, we have to remove the bag, and it's like, okay, what's the bag? What does it look like? Oh, it's a black bag. No! Okay, you're gonna hold up everybody else on this flight until we find this one bag that gotta come off. Don't do that. Please have pictures of your bags, and this is another tip. Clearly mark your luggage. If you do not have luggage that is easily identifiable, whether it be a pattern, whether it be, you know, some type of picture is on it, or whatever the case may be, please very, very clearly mark your bags. If you have something that is a plain color, especially black, mark your bags. I don't care if you take a Sharpie and write on it. I don't care if you use duct tape, if you use stickers, if you use whatever you're going, like, please very clearly mark your bag. Some people, they take duct tape and they wrap it, or they put strips of it along the perimeter of the bag, and then they might write their name on it, the same information that you would write on the back of a bag tag, like those little paper tag thingies that they give you at the counter. You could take one of those, the same information that you would write on one of those, you could write that same information on the piece of duct tape or something. Like, please, 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 clearly mark your bags. Some people get the ones that say like sports teams or college teams or schools, or you know, they sorority or they fraternity or something of that nature. Like, please, please, please get a bag tag. The next thing I want to address, priority tags, right? Honestly, I think they're pointless. I get why people do it. I want to get my bag first. I want to get my bag first. I have seen so many flights where people pay for priority tags. All the priority bags do not get loaded on that flight last. Well, they don't get loaded first, because most people, when they stack in a flight, like putting the luggage into the cargo bin, they want the bigger bags to be sent to them first so that they can stack them easily. It's just like playing Tetris. You wouldn't put your biggest bags in the front. You're going to put them in the back, and then you're going to puzzle piece all the little bags in there, here and there, wherever you can get them to fit. That's usually how it goes. Now, once those bags come off, it's up to the driver, whoever is picking those bags up from the flight and taking them to the claim belt where you're going to go to baggage claim to get your bags. It's their responsibility to drop those priority bags on there first, right? I've seen so many flights where that doesn't happen. That driver is really not thinking about all of that, and honestly, they're just putting the bags on the belt so that they can empty their cart out. Sometimes I've seen people pull up to the claim belt with 2 and 3 cart loads of bags, and you think that they're just gonna... No. In some airports, it really depends on where you at. It really depends on what airline you at, but it depends on what the norm is for that company, right? So I've seen some places where they are very adamant about, you know, okay, priority bags absolutely have to, like, they're very anal about it. I've also seen some companies that are very lax. I've seen some companies that do not care. So some people pay that extra money and they be like, you paid all that money for nothing. But then depending on where you fly, okay, you paid that money for a reason, you're gonna get your bag first. Priority tags are really a hit or miss, so I would say priority tag your bag at your own risk. Another thing that is a harsh truth is that one thing that comes up missing a lot is the zipper handles. With most companies load flights, they use a piece of machinery which is called a belt loader. It is a conveyor belt that is literally on a loop and it's connected to 4 wheels. Some of them are walkable, some of them are drivable, right? But anywho, they pull this thing up to the plane and they lift it up and they turn it on, and so it starts moving, right? And people, we throw the bags onto there, and that's how the bags come off the plane. That's how the bags go on the plane, right? A lot of times, the zipper handle gets caught in the machine, right? And so when we pull your bag onto the cargo, into the cargo bin from the belt, those zipper things get pulled off a lot. That is the one thing that I will say really comes off of bags a lot. And so if you get your bag back and your zipper's missing, that's probably why, because it probably got caught in the belt loader. Sorry. And now it is time for some tips. Tip number 1, do not travel with designer luggage. I think that is the worst investment that anybody could ever make. Well, it's the worst purchase that anybody could ever make, because whether your bag is Louis Vuitton or it's that 30-year-old bag that been in your grandma's basement, it's all getting treated the same. It's going to be on the ground. It's going to be on the belt loader. It's going to be in the cargo bin, getting stacked up with everybody else's luggage, and yeah. It's really not going to get any type of preferential treatment because it's a designer item. It's a bag. You know how many bags rappers handle daily? It's getting treated like all the other bags. It's going to get scraped up. Things are going to be put on top of it. It's going to be put on top of other things. It can be damaged. I think that is the worst thing that you could possibly ever buy when you're traveling. Stay away from designer luggage. If you've been tuned in for this whole travel segment, thank you. I have a lot more to come. If you want to know something else, you got questions, comments, concerns, things that you want me to touch on during these tips and tricks and info videos, please leave them in the comments below. I will get back to everybody. I will answer them, and I'll probably do like a Q&A video if I have a whole lot of questions that y'all want to get answers to, or whatever the case may be. I can definitely do that, but I would need y'all to leave that in the information below.